In this third video on the interview series, which explores the different questions that could potentially come up at fund accounting firms, let's take a look at the subtopic of NAV. What does NAV stand for? Is it net asset value? Is it nominal adjusted value? Is it C, numerical asset value? Or is it D, net accrued value? You might think the answer is very simple, which indeed it is, but even because of the heat of the moment, the confusion tends to creep in. And therefore, many people might answer it as net accrued value, which actually makes no sense because the right answer is indeed net asset value. The second question, NAV is the formula A. Is it total assets divided by number of units? Is it current assets minus current liabilities divided by number of units? Is it C, total assets minus total liabilities divided by number of units? Or is it D, total assets minus total liabilities? So this tests your accounting knowledge as well as your understanding of the mutual fund or the hedge fund industry, because they are going for the interview over there and you need to know what is the full form as well as the formula for NAV. Many participants tend to answer B, which is current assets minus current liabilities divided by number of units. But the real answer is total assets minus total liabilities divided by number of units. Okay? Because of the way the fund is structured, it's a pool of funds. Remember, the total assets comprise a few items, the total liabilities comprise a few items, and the total assets minus total liabilities is the numerator, and the denominator is number of units that are issued. The third question, if investee company announces stock split, what do I mean by investee company? The fund has invested in a particular company and that company has announced a stock split. What is the impact on the NAV? Will the NAV decrease? Will the NAV increase? Or the NAV does not change? So some participants tend to think that because there's a stock split, the number of shares have increased, therefore the NAV increases. Okay? But in reality, the impact of a stock split is that the NAV does not change simply because the market capitalization of the company does not change. So when a company announces a stock split, then there is no impact on the NAV. So this relates the concepts of corporate actions to NAV accounting. Question 4. When a fund distributes dividends to its unit holders. Now, this is a corporate action from the fund, not from the investing company. What is the impact to the NAV? Will it increase? Will it decrease? Will it not change? So the fund has announced dividends and the unit holders are going to get the dividends. Typically, many people will say the NAV does not change. But in reality, because there is a cash outflow from the fund to the unit holders, the NAV will decrease because the assumption is that the fund is selling off assets and then distributing the dividends, and hence the numerator decreases. Very good. The fifth question, which of the statements is true? This question compares GAV to NAV, gross asset value to net asset value. A, is it gross asset value includes performance fees, net asset value excludes performance fees? Is it B, gross asset value includes performance fees, net asset value also includes performance fees? Is it C, both gross asset value and net asset value exclude performance fees? D, gross asset value excludes performance fees, net asset value includes performance fees. Performance fees are also called as incentive fees. Okay, so these four options are there and many participants tend to get very confused between them. Remember that gross asset value includes the incentive fees or the performance fees. The fund pays out the incentive fees, the fund receives the incentive fees, and then the net asset value is calculated after the distribution of the performance fees. Thank you very much and all the very best to you all for your interviews.